Hello basketball coaches and basketball players, my name is Alan from Al's Basketball Training, and today I'm going to give you some amazing Horns basketball offensive plays that you can run if you've got a really great shooting guard, or if you're just looking for plays for your shooting guard in general. These are great for you. Let's get down to the clipboard, let's check these out. Okay, so this first play, we're going to run against a man-to-man defense. We're going to be switching things up throughout the whole video, and we're going to be running against zone defenses and things like that. So first in this play, what we're going to be running is player 4. He is going to be setting a screen for player 1, and our whole idea in this play, and in these plays in general, is to get player 2 a shot from the three-point line or a drive towards the rim. Player 1 is going to use that screen, and he is going to be then driving towards the rim. Now, what's going to happen is that's going to collapse player 3. That could collapse player 4 unless player 1 fought through. So we could pass out to player 3 for the shot, but we're trying to get player 2 a shot. So what we want to do before player 1 drives, as soon as he uses that screen, we want player 5 to set that screen for player 2, and player 2 is going to use that screen. He's going to be coming up in roughly this 90-degree angle for off of the elbow. So roughly the free throw line extended, but just a bit higher. This way, we can kick the ball out to player 2 for that three-point shot. However, at the same time, we're going to have player 5 fighting to get that rebound. We're going to have player 1 in there to get that rebound, and we're going to have player 3 coming in there to get that rebound. Personally, if you don't already know, I like to have 3 players around for an offensive rebound. That way, we can get second chance points. Now that last play is really great if you have a fantastic point guard who can find players on the court really easily. Somebody like Alonzo Ball who has a really great court vision, that kind of thing. Fantastic play for you. Now this next play is going to be against a 3-2 zone defense, so let's get down to the clipboard. Let's check this out. So again, we're going to be aiming to get player 2 a shot. So what we're going to be doing here is having player 5, he's going to be setting a screen for player 2, and we're going to be having player 4 set a screen on player 1. Player 1 is going to be using that screen, and then player 2 is going to be cutting up and using player 5 as a screen as well. We're going to have player 4 rolling towards the basket, so he may be open to collapse those lower 2 players to kick the ball out to player 3 or to go in for that layup. However, that is not our number one option. That's just there if the court is giving it to us, if the defense is giving it to us. Now, what we're going to be having most likely is player 1 and 3, they could be double teaming player 1. However, because we have player 3 down here, you're probably not going to be seeing that. You're going to be seeing single coverage with player 1. What we're going to have now is to swing the defense back around. We're going to get player 4 out towards that right side, and we're going to be having player 5 screen for player 2. Player 1 is going to be dribbling back up top, and player 2 is going to be using that screen. Player 1 is going to do a skip pass over to player 2, and player 5 is going to roll towards the basket. So what you've seen me do so far in this play is to shift the zone defense over towards this right side by now just getting player 2 open on this side, and now the whole defense needs to shift back over towards that left side. And when that's happening, he could take that three-point shot, or he could also hit up player 5 for that layup. So that last play is a little bit more on the advanced side. I would run that at like the grade 10 and higher level. However, still fantastic. If you have an advanced team or a very court smart team at the grade 8 or 9 level, that could still work really well for them. Now, in this next play, we're going to be going up against a 2-3 zone defense. So let's get down to the clipboard and let's check that out. So again, what we're going to be having is player 2 trying to get open for that three-point shot. Now this first play is very simple. We're just going to have player 5 screen for player 4, and player 2 is going to pop up, and usually there's a double team up top. The reason for that is their zones are covering, right here, which there's a overlapping zone there, which means that there will be a double team. Now, or at least there should be a double team. Now player 2 may drop off, but generally speaking there's a double team, or at least a player forcing the point guard to go one direction and player 2 ready to pounce. Now player 1 could pass to player 2 for that three-point shot. That is an option, but that's just a quick hitter that you could run. But what we're going to be looking to run here is player 5. He is going to be setting a screen for player 4, and player 4 is going to be setting a screen on player 2. Player 1 is going to use that screen. Player 2 is going to be cutting towards the rim. What we're going to be having now is player 3 setting up a screen on player 3. He might be a little bit in right there, And we could hit up player 2 if player 5 is not popping down to guard him. He could be open for that layup. Or what could happen is player 4 is going to switch over to this side. He's going to be then, player 1 is going to be dribbling back over towards that right side. Player 2 is going to be using player 3 as a screen. Player 1 could hit him up for that 3-point shot. Again, a little bit more of an advanced play. We're going to be going up against a man-to-man defense in this next and final play, and it's going to be a very simple play that you can run with any age of basketball team. Now, this is a quick, simple hitter that you could run. Player 4 is going to be setting a screen for player 2. Player 2 is going to pop up. That could be a 3-point shot, or at least a deep mid-range shot. However, if player 4 pops up to guard him, we could have either player 1 or player 2 able to pass to player 4 who is rolling off that screen for a layup. Another option is whether they switch off or not. Let's say they don't switch off, but it was not a good screen. What we're going to be having now is player 1 coming over for a dribble handoff with player 2. Player 5 is going to be popping up, and player 5 is going to be setting essentially a staggered screen. This is the first screen, but it's a dribble handoff, and player 5 will set up a secondary screen where player 2 can then take that shot or drive towards the rim. We're also going to be having at the same time player 4 setting a screen across. Player 3 is going to be cutting where he could hit up player 3 for that layup. However, if player 2 does decide to drive towards the basket, this needs to be off, and they need to spread out, these two players, because player 4 may just come down to play help defense. If he doesn't, he has an open layup. If he does, then one of these two players are going to be open for a 3-point shot, and at least player 2 gets an assist. Now, I hope that these plays help your team win more games. If they do, let us know in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you. Also, if you have any questions, make sure to comment below. I love to answer questions. And I'll see you guys again later on today for the second video of the day.